This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so we got little Scrappy getting obliterated by Bambi on Father's Day. They're releasing clips of Scrappy not able to pay his portion of the rent. Now, this is an ongoing thing that happens with little Scrappy. Little Scrappy's not a bad person. Okay, I'm not saying that. This is a reoccurring thing. I mean, we can go all the way back to 2010 when he was with Diamond and her car was getting taken back. They lost the house they lived in. Then, years later, he's with Bambi. 2015, 16, 17, all those years facing getting evicted. They never owned it. This is what I don't get. This is what I don't get at all. Little Scrappy and Bambi both make decent money on appearances and everything on Love and Hip Hop. Are they living that much beyond their means that they have to rent a house? Why can't they live below their means for a few years and then with their kids, find a place outside of Georgia, and rough it for 2 years, save your money, and buy a house? Because to still be renting after Scrappy had a rap career, now he's on Love and Hip Hop, saved his life. Let's just be honest, okay? And he's been on Love and Hip Hop for a good decade at this point. To have not turned that into owning a house is crazy, I gotta say. Crazy. Somebody needs to, nobody sat Scrappy down and said, hey, man, you got to get your finances in order. Don't be buying cars and all this other stuff. You got to, rough it out real quick, But this happens with a lot of stars. A lot of the famous people you see, there's, let's go through the people that definitely own their houses, like T-Pain. Been in the same house for 15 years, big mansion in Georgia, okay? And he paid probably very little for it because he probably bought it around 2008 when the downturn was happening, So he probably got a good price on it. If you see a rapper in the same house for years and years and years, they're smart. They bought their house, they paid it, they're paying it off. But when you see people living super lavish, you can assume that they're keeping up with the Joneses, financing or leasing the hottest whips, multiple. They always stars always seem to find the con artists that can get him in the whip at this rate, and it doesn't matter. They'll get it repoed and then they'll figure out how to fix their credit. People are always fixing their credit instead of just keeping it good by living within your means. You should have learned a long time ago, just pay off the car. The car is the worst thing to have payments on because it's a depreciating asset. You might as well buy it used, a year or two old, take some of that depreciation, and then try to get something that you can actually afford and not something where you can afford the payments. You should be able to really afford those payments, and it's hard being a human being. You got your house, car, you have a lot of things that you need to just be normal, and everyone strives for normalcy. There's no shame in taking a bus or public transportation or Ubers, but you should always strive to own your own stuff, especially with someone like Scrappy and Bambi, who they make chunks of money at a time. Buy a house you can afford, not one that just looks. The house he's showing off here isn't even crazy. At that time, it was 2016. That house probably was $400,000, maybe $500,000. You could have put 20% down and started paying that off. I don't know. People take bad advice. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News, and I'll check you guys later. Peace.